Alright everyone, and so with the first trailer for Peacemaker Season 2 that is finally here, especially as we can all get excited with John Cena's return to the character and with the 11th Street Kids, that is the superhero team that are back and that are handling a new mission, especially for what this new season is going to tackle, especially with Rick Flag, a senior in live action, who's going to be involved in terms of with the storytelling and with the action, especially as when James Gunn's rebooted DC universe. But now, I want to talk about in this video, we'll go over the ending of the trailer, especially for what this means, and it could make a massive connection to the DCEU, possibly a crossover of what it's going to be building up, especially as we have an alternate version of Peacemaker here and for what this means. But let's go over it right here, right now. And so, if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so don't miss out on any future vids. But now, let's hop right into it. And now, I want to say this first, and that is, I really enjoyed the Peacemaker Season 1, especially for what that show delivered. Gave us much needed context, and also to make us fall in love with John Cena's character more, especially for what James Gunn can do with his storytelling, for what he knows about the comic book genre, especially with him behind the camera. I mean, anything is possible, because especially as for what that first season tackled, especially with Peacemaker and his background for where he comes from, especially with having eagerly by his side, and even with teaming up with the 11th Street Kids, because especially as, I mean, that season went hardcore. It had a clear vision and a clear story for what it wanted to tackle, and especially towards the end of that, it teased for something much more. And now, moving into Season 2, as we have a sort of tone, sort of going to fit back to what we enjoyed from the first season, but I think it's going to elevate it even more. Now, and even though I want to talk about the ending of the trailer, and that is with Peacemaker, that is somehow in a pocket universe reality. It steps into a door, and behind him, we see another version of Peacemaker. Essentially, for what this means is that this could be the DCEU's version of Peacemaker, because especially as this could be teasing a crossover between both universes, because for what I think James Gunn is going to be tackling here, and that is especially with people that are confused, since Peacemaker Season 1 was set in the DCEU, and plus, if y'all saw it in that finale, we saw the Justice League show up, especially after they did their mission, and that was the final episode of that. For what it's going to be a tackling, I'm pretty sure with that Justice League subplot, I think with that context, I'm pretty sure if it's going to be fit in canon or going to have some sort of explanation in Season 2, since the DCU, it's rebooted. It's headed in a brand new direction, and so I'm thinking that we're going to have an ultimate showdown between these two versions of Peacemaker, because especially as we see in this trailer, we see the 11th Street Kids in this pocket reality universe, and stuff that James Gunn is going to bring, or if he is teasing up something crazy. But I think because especially if you look at this version of Peacemaker, because his helmet is different from the one that Peacemaker is donning in Season 2, because I think these two versions are from different universes, the DCU and the DCEU, because especially if you all remember that with the DCEU, it was a failed universe, but now especially with the new universe, it's going to blend in some elements from the DCEU, as sort of a blend it in a little bit, it sort of makes sense. And boy, are we about to have a multiverse thing happen, because even though with people that could get tired of it. And on top of that, I think for what this equates to is that with these two different universes coming together, and sort of it's gonna draw in some a big effect, because even though since we see Maxwell Lord, Guy Gardner, and Hawkgirl in the beginning of the trailer questioning Peacemaker, and that is basically from James Gunn's new DCU, because especially with Superman, and that is the first movie that kicks off this rebooted universe, and then with Peacemaker Season 2 that comes right after, with the ending of that trailer, I think the way that it's going to end. It's essentially going to be playing a joke on the DCEU, and because I think with that failed universe, it's gonna have a big drawing connection, if you all know what I'm talking about, but this is like making sense. Essentially, I think that this could be a good idea to remind us of the failed universe, especially with these two versions of Peacemaker like coming together and hopefully to fight one another. Because for what we've seen throughout the trailer, that this is basically tackling the storyline of Rick Flag Sr. Going after Peacemaker for what he did to his son. And that's what this revenge plot, not so that it's going to be tackling, and just with the action alone, the violence, it's going to bring back everything that we love, because James Gunn knows how to craft a story, and it's because he basically knows how to handle material like this. And also, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the season it like sets up so much more for what James Gunn has lined up for his Gods and Monsters slate, that is for chapter 1, possibly setting up big things down the line, because essentially, like just with this trailer alone, with the new universe and the old failed universe combining, and also essentially with the new DCU universe, and basically it's now sensing connectivity and possibly expanding the door to other things that this new DC universe by James Gunn is going to be handling, especially with bringing in new characters, for what this means, for what's going to set up next. And honestly, I cannot be more excited, especially for what's to come for the rest of his DC universe, especially after this new season of Peacemaker. And also, I'm very excited for how they're going to explain this version of Peacemaker that is going up against this new version of Peacemaker that is in the DCU. I think, I don't know if James Gunn is going to bring up an explanation for this version of Peacemaker, for why this old one from the DCEU is blending into his new universe. And I think it's going to be very cool. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But again, this trailer looked incredible. It looked so exciting. It looked so good. And you know, I can't wait to see what more that we have in store for Peacemaker Season 2 as well, especially with all the new elements and storytelling combining in. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be one heck of a season as well, coming August 21st to Max as well. But that's going to do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below and what your thoughts on this, especially this has a massive connection to the DCU, especially with bringing a older version of Peacemaker into this new universe. And just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to notifications for future videos. And also follow all my social medias, always linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.